Alright guys, this is the day I've been waiting for a very long time. Very, very long time. Finally we have the Insta360 ONE X2. It is here in my hands. And look, if you ride an electric skateboard, an electric longboard, or an electric scooter, or an electric bike, or an electric unicycle like me, this is most likely the best action cam you can get. Now, there's a bunch of guys riding out to Coney Island right now, and I'm kind of running late, so I'm gonna try to catch them on the way. I think it'll be a good day to test it out. It's kind of sunny out. There'll be some bright spots, some dark spots. I'll get the whole dynamic range to get a good feel for this thing. But it's a great day to test it out, so let's get to it.
Coming alive. Whoa. Now is the time. Whoa. Don't try to hide. 'Cause I'm gonna harm you like an animal. Animal. Gonna bite your flesh when I jump your bones. If I smell your scent, I could lose control. Don't let me hurt ya. Same color in your eyes, all your thoughts depraved, uncivilized. We both gone mad, trying to disguise our true nature. Our most primal ways, they won't be refused. I've tried to tame her. I go wild over you. I go wild over you. I go wild over you. And I've heard you talking to the moon. Your sensibilities, all the rules that make a society. Wanna misbehave, wanna set you free. I wanna break you. Same color in your eyes, all your thoughts depraved, uncivilized. Have we both gone mad, trying to disguise our true nature? I go wild over you. I go wild over you. I go wild over you. And I've heard you talking to the moon.
Oh man, so we finally made it to Coney Island. My hair looks like crazy. But it's really weird down here. It's very desolate. It's not something you usually see at Coney Island. But it was a nice little ride out. Nice windy, smooth ride. Getting over there on Ocean Parkway was pretty cool. But I've been very happy with the results. I think that this camera really is the next step up in the line of 360 cameras for them. It's a very well-needed upgrade, and the image quality is just that much more pristine. So you can kind of see there just how versatile this camera can be. I mean, with a camera like this, you can just kind of put the camera wherever it needs to go and choose your shots later. So you can kind of see I added some movement in there. I have angles from my perspective. I have angles looking away from me, behind me, all directions. And the best part is, I basically had two positions. Here and here. And that was it. I would say it's hard to get a bad shot with this thing because of the fact that it's shooting 360 degrees in all directions. It makes it a huge benefit to anybody that's riding an EV. Let me know also if you're here and you don't ride an electric vehicle, but somehow you discovered this, let me know in the comments down below. So my buddy Francisco is a newer rider here in the city. He rides an electric unicycle. So I'm gonna jet over and meet up with him and have him hold this for the first time. He's never used a 360 camera before. He's not really used to riding with anything in his hands really. But I'm gonna kind of show him just how simple it is to kind of just shove it in his hand and go, okay, just ride and put this thing out in front of you and let's just see where it goes. So let's go over and meet up with Francisco. got Francisco here, and we just took a ride all the way from 14th Street all the way up to Central Park here. I held it for about half the time. I had him hold it for half the time. We did a little handoff at one point. But I'm going to see what he thought about using a 360 camera for the first time. And obviously he's using the 360 ONE X2. So Francisco.
As far as being distracted, I think that's the positive side. I was still able to ride. I'm a fairly new rider. So, you know, going up in New York City through traffic, I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I was able to focus on what I was doing while holding it. Right. In all fairness, I'm wearing gliders, so I might not have a proper grip, but it seemed very simple. It seemed pretty cut and dry. Just hold it straight out and let it do its thing.
All right, so we got this sucker here. You can see the live view. We're just going off the camera here. It's
right.
Kind of a longer file. Being a little jittery, but you can see how,
oh wow,
there you are.
That's pretty cool.
And you can see how when you change the angle, it's a whole different perspective.
Yes.
So that's why I was telling you, just probably closer to like a 90, and then you get a really good shot.
Really, wow, look at that. That is pretty cool. That's like, I didn't even think it would look like this.
Right?
Yeah, and I like the way you're able to move it around at any point. And
then if you know, later in post, if you wanted to cut together a video, you can cut together yourself and also your perspective view.
Right.
So it can be whichever one you want. So let's go into it a little bit here. So we're moving. So here, like I said, you could use your perspective, or you can show yourself here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Especially
your flying, and you can make it 16 by 9. So this is just
right.
Obviously the camera's upright right now.
Right.
But you can make it look like I do in my videos. I make it look like it's, you know.
And with the buildings, it looks awesome. I can imagine at night, like especially during the holidays, like it really captures everything. I think that's really cool.
Or you can keep it more street, like anything you want to do. Once you download it, all the options become available to you.
Gotcha.
Right now we can only just preview it this way. But so you can see me.
This would be awesome on group rides. Yeah, you're gonna get everybody. You're gonna get everybody. Because you're gonna get in front of you, behind you, as you move around. Even though I can't see in front of me right now, but I know it's there. If you turn the screen, it's there. So that's pretty phenomenal.
So my buddy John Angel, who rides an electric bike around town, he has an Onyx e-bike. If you've never heard of them, check out Onyx, I guess. Probably one of the best e-bikes on the market. He's one of my favorite people in the city, and he rides a really dope bike. And I was like, listen, I got this camera from Insta360. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna wanna get rid of your other camera. So we're gonna go link up with him. Now, I don't really have a proper rig for the e-bike yet. I placed an order for it. It's coming in the mail soon. I should have it. Anyways, oops. So we're gonna meet up with him. We're gonna set this thing up on the back of his bike with a little, you know, jerry rig thing here. We're gonna set it up on the front of his bike, just kind of see what kind of angles we can get to showcase just how you, if you're an e-bike owner, can use a camera like this to your advantage and capture all your rides.
This is how we get it done. This is how we do it, do it. This is how a kingdom comes. This is how we do it, do it. Oh.
Let's kind of talk about this. So compared to the previous generation, there's a few things that really stand out. And I think that they're worthwhile. This is not a full upgrade, it is a marginal upgrade, but I think it's worth the money spent. So number one, we have a waterproofing around the entire shell on the outside of this. So before you had to have, I believe, some kind of dive case. They still offer something like that if you're going deep, deep, deep. But this is like waterproof up to about 10 meters. So if you're shooting near water, you drop it in on accident, or maybe it's intentional and you're just in kind of a low level tide pool or whatever you're shooting. I don't know what you're shooting. This thing is gonna have you covered. Let's just do these and pop it open. And you can kind of see this blue line here. That's sort of the gasket keeping the water out. So the battery is supposed to be 55% bigger than the previous generation. I think you get into really murky territory when you start labeling percentages on things. I really believe in a real world scenario. For all of you, you know, lithium nerds out there, it's a 1630 milliamp hour battery. I think that for me, I was getting about 2.5 hours worth of battery out of this thing, which is pretty impressive considering like what I'm doing and how I'm shooting and kind of just letting it go for long stretches of time. So I think if you had 2 of these batteries and you had like a day trip scenario, you'd have more than enough. So 1 battery swap during a day would be killer, especially on something with this form factor. The next on the list, which is probably one of the cooler functions, is the screen. They had a circular screen here, but it was just a black screen with white text. So you went through your menu there and you picked all these settings that you wanted, but the problem was it was always just a little too cumbersome, and I couldn't figure out which button was the button to move over versus get back out of the menu. But now it's all visual. You got a full color, I think it's an LCD screen, and you can see, well, myself here, it's really nice that it shows you that. But also when you tap it, you're gonna get the menu options right here that pop up. So you can pick your frame rate, you can pick your resolution, you can pick 360, 180, all the different options that are available to you are here. You can pick log versus Rec 709 shooting. It's all right here. Now they have an app too that integrates it, but it's just really nice that you have it. And you can also move the screen around here, which is super nice. But instead of trying to just amp it up and say, look, we have a little more K than the next guy, what they decided for their upgrade was to put a better bit rate in here, which for me is key. In my world, in professional TV and film, I'm a colorist. So as someone that stares at pixels all day, I'm kind of a pixel peeper in some respect, I can see the difference. I can see the fact that before I was just having to like relent to the fact that this is not a cinema camera and, you know, the quality is gonna be, it is what it is. Now it's actually an acceptable level. Like, it's, again, I'm like a snob who looks at red and airy cameras all day long, but this is at a level where I'm like, okay, I can rest easy knowing that, like, you know, if I have to push this a little bit in the color grade, it's gonna hold up a little bit better. So for me, that's like one of the best upgrades. So the battery and the better image quality is key to this thing. One little thing. Talking about 360 from this company, obviously I love the X2, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention their other camera that they have. They also have the ONE R. Now that is their modular camera, so it can be used as a 360 camera or as a typical action camera. So I have it here, and I actually have it on the bike mod that I'm now gonna use with some of my e-bike friends. When I shot the thing with John Angel earlier, I had a more like homemade thing going on, but this is the actual like motorcycle bundle that you can buy from them. So I recommend this if you're a scooter or a bike guy. Anyways, this is the ONE R. It's modular, and right now I have the sort of action cam thing on here. It's the 1-inch edition. The benefit to this is you can just slide this little thing over. This pops off. This comes apart here, and you can swap it so you can see yourself. You can use it more like a vlog, I guess, like this. That's really great. And the fact that it's modular gives you so many options. Because I also have, well, let's put this piece down. I also have the 360 mod here, which just has the 2 cameras on each side. And let's line it up correctly. Then you just plug it in right there. And then I actually have the extended battery pack here, but there's a slightly thinner one, which is the regular one. It's like red or something. But then we're just gonna pop this right back onto here. Try not to touch the lenses, Mickey. Okay. So this is the 360 mod, as you can see. And when you turn this guy on, it's pretty similar to the X2. Very loud apparently as well. But you can see here, you can see me here, and just like the other one, you can kind of spin the image around and see it. You got all your menuing options here, just right here on the touchscreen, which is so great. Obviously, app integration as well. But this thing is very useful if you don't have an action camera and you think you want to do a 360 setup and a typical action camera setup. And this has the bigger sensor as well, so possibly great for low light. But this is really great, again, if you just want multiple options. So hopefully I've shown you sort of the wide range of what's possible with these kind of 360 cameras. Got the ONE X2, the ONE R. There's a lot going on here from this company. They're my favorite 360 company. I love what they have going on. Their app integration is really great. And also if you just want to bypass their app, you can put it right into Premiere for a post. But yeah, I'm super excited about these cameras. I hope you are too. I hope if you don't have one, I've convinced you that like this is the way to go if you want to capture yourself riding around town. Now they do have a lot more things here, a lot more AI functions, a lot more creative, sort of tiny planet, inverted planet. They've got a whole slew of new things that you can mess with on this, and a lot of guys love that. For my workflow, I don't use it as such, but I think if you had this, you could go wild and go crazy and figure out what really strikes you as really fun for using this camera. So definitely check out those features. If you want to check this out, there'll be a link down in the description below. That link should give me a little bit of a kickback, so definitely check it out. If you want to buy, use that link. If you don't want to buy, no big deal, but you're kind of missing out. If you like what you saw here today, please give me a thumbs up, hit that like button down below. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I always thank everyone too much. Too much thanking. Can you do that? Can you be too thankful? I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And as I always say, keep riding, never stop.